I've never been this hyped in my life during the first half, and never been so depressed as I was in the second half in overtime. That's not true, actually. A lot of games this year. Pelicans lose by 5 points in overtime, 133-128, I think it was, to the Memphis Grizzlies. You guys, no John Morant in this game. I don't know who else. They had a couple guys missing, but Pelicans had no answer for Zach Edey, you guys. Oh my gosh. Zachary Edey. The Pelicans started out hot. This first half was so fun to watch, you guys. Jose was hitting threes with no shoes on, and Ibmisi was having poster blocks on Jaren Jackson Jr., followed by Zion poster block on Jaren Jackson Jr. And then I don't know what happened, man. Third quarter started. I think everybody took a little melatonin at halftime. They're like, it's a later game. Let's just try and get to bed. You know what I mean? They're like, guys, it's halftime. They've totally forgotten. Then second half of this game, they were half sleeping out there, so I'm sad. Really a lot of good takeaways from this game, and even though they lost, I'm joking about being sad, partially, right? They lost, so I'm sad about that. But there was a lot of good in this game. Better than the first 10 games of the season. We saw a lot more changes under James Borrego, and we saw exactly how these Pelicans want to play in this first half. And they even did okay. They maintained a lead technically going into the fourth quarter. They were up by a couple points, but it just slowly slipped away from them. They had some nice plays to bring it back to go to overtime. Zion with a clutch shot and even a clutch defensive play by him. And then just ended up losing it in overtime. Memphis hit some good shots, so you can't be too mad about it. We'll see a few highlights from overtime, but we won't see most of the Pelicans' offensive possessions because they didn't score, right? They ran the exact same play almost every single time down the court. I know why. I mean, I think the idea was it was smart technically. Like, they just put Zion on one side of the court with somebody in the corner, and then the other three on the other side, all on the three-point line. And it was just, all right, Zion, take it, just attack. And if they collapse on you, kick it out for three. But I'm starting to think that Trey Murphy's not clutch. I mean, unless you guys can think of a clutch shot that he's hit, but maybe at me in the comments telling me that I'm dumb for forgetting some clutch shot that he's hit, but I can't think of a clutch shot that he's hit. He didn't hit it in this overtime. And even though Zion had that game-tying shot to go into overtime, like, I don't think this was his best game either. He didn't shoot it particularly well. He kind of does that against Memphis. They're just big, man. And it really was Zach Edey that the Pelicans had no answer for. Ibmisi's like their best chance, right? He's the biggest guy, but as well as Ibmisi played, there's no stopping Zach Edey. He's just too big. And unfortunately, that meant Derek Queen spent a lot of time on the bench in this game because Derek Queen was getting eaten alive by Zach Edey. So when he was in, he was offensively awesome like he always is, but defensively against Zach, he just couldn't even put up a fight, and it was really tough to watch. So like I said, there were some positives, right? Some good performances still, some good games. My favorite player, dude, Jose Alvarado. Jose Alvarado came off the bench and was scorching hot. That's the best way to put it. I don't know how else to put it. Scorching hot. He had 24 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals in 26 minutes played, dude. He was so good. He was making great decisions almost every time. There was one defensive possession at the end where it was kind of his fault that they got a wide open dunk, but we're not gonna look at that. In this game, it was the starters that were negative and the bench players that really outperformed. So starting with the bench, Micah Peavy 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He had that energy, he always does. Jose obviously 24. Ibmisi had 6.6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks, and some of those blocks were just awesome. Jordan Hawkins actually was hot. He hit 50% of his threes, 4 of 8. Had 14 points, and even Bryce McGowan's had a couple nice plays. So those are the positives. The starters were really in the negative in terms of plus minus. Specifically the rookies, which you expect a little bit of that, right? Like, the rookies are rookies. They're growing, they're learning, especially in this game when it was tough matchups. But Jeremiah Fears, for example, minus 28, and Derek Queen, for example, minus 24. And it was just defensive end. Like, Memphis is a big team, and they couldn't stop them because they were too big. Jeremiah and Derek Queen were just too small. Sadiq Bey had 18 points, 10 rebounds again. That's 3 games in a row. He's got double-double with rebounds. He's a stud. He was 4 of 9 for his threes, shot really well. Zion had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Derek Queen, in his limited minutes, mind you, 23 minutes, had 10 points, 2 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Like, I'm saying, offensively he was good, but like those 2 rebounds is not enough in 23 minutes for for your power forward center, right? And he just couldn't get it over Zach Edey. Trey Murphy, 12 points. Jeremiah Fears, 10 points. So what's there really to say? I mean, the first half they played fast, like super fast. And you're like, yeah, this is the James Borrego effect, you know? The ball was zipping around. Super impressive offense. Third quarter, they were asleep when they came in, laying down on the court, basically taking a nap. So even though they were able to still maintain a lead, like they were up 15 at halftime. And I think they entered the fourth quarter up 4. Lost big time in the third. Lost big time in the fourth, actually. Luckily, we're able to claw it back and go to overtime, but just didn't have the juice. I think if you had Carlo Makovic in this game, like, genuinely, there's a big difference. You could play Carlo Makovic and Derek Queen at the same time, because he can kind of shoot threes too, which is big, especially having Derek Queen out there who's not really a three-point shooter. Overall, sad with the outcome. Saw a lot of good things. You know, I try to be a positive person about these games, and there were a lot of good takeaways. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Hopefully you get some good food and can spend some time with family. We'll be back Saturday for another video. They don't have their next game until Saturday. They play the Golden State Warriors, who are currently 10-9, about middle of the road, but better than Pelicans. So appreciate all the love and support. You guys are incredible. We're just a couple subs away from 300. You guys are awesome. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. You'll get a lot more Pelicans content out of me. Leave a like on this video. Comment down below your thoughts on this game. Appreciate you guys. Peace.